Hey everyone, welcome back. We are going to make a breakfast today, and this is a French toast bake. So it's a really cool twist on making French toast. Let's dig in and check this out. Okay, first up, grab a bowl. Into it, this is 1 cup of packed brown sugar. Watch it kind of crumble along while I'm getting the next ingredient, which is butter. I've got about a stick of butter. Of course, we want it melted, so into the microwave it goes. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to mush up all the brown sugar because it's fun. So our butter's melted. Into the brown sugar it goes. Yum-y. Okay, let's give that a good mix. And the actual amount of butter, I don't know that it would matter. I guess it's, all preference. I think I would have put more in just so it wasn't quite as stiff. I think I would have liked it a little runnier. But this works. So into a square pan, we are going to spray her up and get it all greased so that it doesn't stick too much. And in the bottom of the pan goes our brown sugar mix that we just made. As a side note, as well as this worked, the next time I want to try this in the middle, put a little butter on the bottom, but put this brown sugar mixture in the middle. I think it would work a little better. But we'll find out the next time. So this is regular, plain, ordinary bread out of the loaf. If there's other bread you'd like to use, go ahead. This is what I had. This I know works. This is what I would have made French toast with anyway. So to that, we make sure the bottom's completely filled. And now into a bowl goes 2 cracked eggs. And to that, we're going to fill our cup with 1 cup of milk. And this is my daughter's homemade vanilla extract, which works great when you're baking. That's about a teaspoon. And then we're going to mix it around. We're going to do this a second time. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to separate the egg mixture. So we'll bring our bread back in and we're going to carefully pour this onto our bread. You want to coat all the bread as best you can. You don't want one big blob. It's okay if it's not completely perfect, but just try to cover it up as best you can. You want the milk and eggs to kind of absorb into the bread evenly-ish. So I'm just kind of spreading around to make sure it does get to all the bread. And I'll do the same thing with the top layer. Into a smaller bowl, we want a couple tablespoons of brown sugar. And of course, after trying to carefully pour out the first tablespoon, you know what? Just eyeball it. I don't think it's really going to matter one way or another. It's basically brown sugar and cinnamon. Mix it to the way you want it. It's supposed to be 2 tablespoons of brown sugar to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So we'll get it around that, See, I actually attempted to measure it out. But then I decided I wanted more cinnamon anyway. So you give it a mix, you combine it as best you can. And now we're going to carefully sprinkle half of that mix onto our eggs. This is kind of a sweet breakfasty dish. It'll get your sugar going first thing in the morning. But you know, French toast is like that too. The only difference here is when we're done baking it, you don't have to put syrup on it. Okay, so on goes our second layer. Almost the same as the first. I used up the rest of the bread I had, and it's like, it's not quite going to fill up the hole, so I had to grab one more slice. Not the end of the world, it just doesn't look as pretty. So there we go, set that aside. Bring our bowl back and do the same thing. 1, 2 eggs, a cup of milk, and a big splash of vanilla. Give it all a nice stir, and we're going to do the exact same thing for a second time. Bring our bread back in, and ever so carefully pour it on. Now, suppose if you did all of it at once and just dumped it all on the top, that you'd be sure to even it out, because obviously liquid's going to even out at the bottom. But I figured I'd give this a try. And like I said earlier, I think I would put the brown sugar mix that's on the bottom, I think I would rather put that in the middle. But we'll have to give it a try next time. So the milk mixture's all nice and evened out. We'll put our brown sugar cinnamon on. And now we just got to wrap it up and let it sit overnight until we're ready for it in the morning. So I had to get a new roll of tin foil out, and look what it says on the inside of the box. That's just crazy. What a world we live in. Anyway, so we wrap this up fairly tight, and into the fridge it goes. So here we are in the morning. Let's just check it and make sure I put it on a baking sheet, just to make sure, just in case there's a spillover. There shouldn't be, but just in case. And it looks pretty good. I don't really see any issues. It looks like all the milk's been absorbed, and what little's on the bottom is going to bake anyway. We'll put this lid on. Into the oven, 350. And here we are. About 30 minutes later, we'll pull it out. Check it out. Pull the lid off. Starting to look good. Well, we're going to throw it back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes and let it bake. Takes about 45 minutes in total. And here we are when it's done. Oh, it smells like French toast. Can't wait to dig in. Hey, wait, that's all we've got to do. We'll grab a plate. We've cut it up. And there is our French toast bake. Look at that. That is so cool. A knife and fork. Just need some orange juice and maybe some sausages that I just happened to fry up while we were waiting for this. And there you go, breakfast. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.